Good afternoon, my fellow subscribers, and welcome to another video by LNERFan4472. I thought I'd start today's video off with a rather nice shot of Merlin and give you a quick summary of what has changed on the layout. Now, as you can see, there's a hint just towards the bottom left of your screen. The centre line through the station has been mostly ballasted, shall we say. You'll get a glimpse of that in a second. I have been doing ballasting here and there. I have been working on a few points because they're particularly difficult to ballast and you've got to be really careful with them. I think that's it for the ballasting for now. Another exciting part of the update is that two SEEP PM1 with polarity switching confirmed as working positive and negative sides are in service and are working extremely well, and I'm very happy with the quality of the products. I think that's it. And I will be going through the new extension, which is rather exciting, so stay tuned. Okay guys, here we are. Let's start by overlooking what we've done with the ballasting. So we're going to start from over here. This has been here for nearly a year now, so it's been fairly long since I started ballasting, and it's about bloody time I finished it. So I've got to crack on, and I have been cracking on quite happily. This point here was not ballasted before. This one has been successfully ballasted. This is also a point that's been wired up with one of the SEEP PM1 point motors I mentioned in the start. So this is all ballasted, you know, it's all rock hard, that's not going to go anywhere. So no going back there. The main reason I've been hesitant with ballasting is because I want to make sure everything is 100% correct and where I want it to stay, because it's a right hassle to lift everything up. So anyway, enough of that. This section here has also been ballasted. This section because basically all of this here has been done up to there, what you see just there. So that's allowed me to fill in the grass. Now it's been mixed. Mixed views on the grass, but I think it looks alright. Doesn't look too dark, doesn't look too light, maybe a little bit on the light side, but it'll be alright. It's grass, and at least you can't see the baseboard underneath, so if you can just see that, looks quite real, doesn't it? Anyway, moving along now. Most of this, well, I say nearly all of it is ballasted, so if we move along, excuse the lamp, if I just zoom in and go really slowly, we can see that quite a significant portion of that centre line has been ballasted. Now, I did this fairly rapidly, and I'm about to show you how I did it right now. Okay guys, this is an auto ballaster, if you like. It's a high capacity double O gauge ballast spreader with shut off, and I can quote that because it's on here. So that's all. There's all the details. Hopefully no personal details are on there. So essentially what this does is it speeds up the process of ballasting dramatically on sections of track where there's no points. So for example, a track just here. It's very easy to ballast. I really must say it is. And the reason I bought this one, there's loads of different ones on the market, but the main reason I bought it was that. I'm just going to zoom in on it now. It's got a shut off, so if I suddenly need to stop ballasting, you know, it's not just going to keep pouring out. I can shut it off as such, like that. See, now it's open. If I just try and shut it, it is then closed. So I can close it and open it whenever I want. So if I just want to lift it off and there's spare ballast, it won't come tipping all out. And I think that's a necessity, if you ask me. But yeah, it is very straightforward. Just push it forward. Now if you imagine there's ballast in there, all of this section here is ballasted. You will have to do a little bit of you know, bit of polishing, if you like, you know, get it all off the sleepers, because it looks terribly unrealistic when it's all on top of the sleepers. Run your thumb like that, get rid of it all. And make sure the sleepers are easily visible, because that's what it's like in real life, because you don't want to getting in the way of the wheels. I will be doing a ballasting tutorial when I acquire a tripod, and yeah, I think that's ballasting more or less covered. Well guys, I did have two point motors in operation, so I thought, but turns out we only have one now. Before I tell you the story, I'll just show you the only last surviving one that's actually working. So there's number 62, Fingers crossed it works. Yeah, she works fine, look. And the polarity switching is built in as well. So that's all good, apart from one that's just died, and I'll tell you how that's happened right now. Right guys, basically what happened was I'd wired all the point motor up correctly, doing a good job with my soldering, using flux and everything, but the return, or port C, for this one decided to disconnect itself. Upon further inspection, turned out that had actually taken the copper contact strip with it, so broken basically. So that really annoyed me. Went to a lot of effort to get that installed, but hey, what can you do? I've got another one ordered and that's on the way, and that'll be installed as soon as possible. It's just a little bit awkward in this spot because the sofa's in the way, and I have been at work trying to resolve it, but it's gone in the bin, there's no repairing that, so better off just getting a new one, which I have done. But I know how to wire up a point motor and I know how to wire it up correctly. I honestly don't know what happened, why the return decided to bring the contact strip with it. Everything was fine and in place. Oh well, never mind. Point motors are a dime a dozen. Let's move on now. Okay guys, another thing I want to talk about in this layout update is the new extension, which you saw me mention right at the beginning. Basically, where you can see the nearly completed Class 91/DVT set, that is the track where the yard will diverge off. So over there will be another part of the shed, or more sheds. Possibly a turntable in that corner, I'm not too sure. I don't know whether to put the turntable there, or if we just budge over there. I'm really not too sure, but I don't know what else I could do with that space if I were not to put the turntable there. So it seems like a pretty ideal place to put the turntable. However, all of this has been nailed down stupidly, so if I do want to make a turntable, I do have to rip that track out and insert a turnout. So we'll see how that goes. It's still planning, and like I said, we'll see how it goes. So basically there might be a turntable over there, but I know what I'm going to do with this bit over here where all this space is. Basically the track will come off and it will split into 4 or 5 lanes, I'm not too sure, depending on the space, and it will just be carriage yards basically. Isolated from the main lines, of course. I'm not too sure how, maybe just by means of some high fencing, because I don't want to group it all together because it'll look a bit silly. But yeah, about halfway down for the carriage yards, you know, just storage for carriages, because I don't want to have to take them off, and gigantic carriage yard, just a little shunter in there, look very realistic indeed, so long as the shunter decides to run well, because we all know what small locomotives are like on dirty track. Also, a new method of cleaning the track is currently being procured, and I think I found my answer. It's called Tidy Track. The product made aware of its existence thanks to Intercity 82, and it just looks like, you know, it's perfect for this layout. You know, I haven't got many bridges or anything like that, and it's all more or less straight track, so it seems essential. You know, about 4 pads. You know, about 4 pads for every clean. You know, everything will run like a dream. I still have to clean the turnouts manually, of course, but the Tidy Track just looks like an absolute dream for model railroaders. Oh, it's just fantastic. I can't wait to get it. I will be ordering it very soon. But yes, that is the extension. So the very last thing I want to talk about is the latest locomotive that I wish to acquire to run on my railway, and I'm about to show you it right now. And here it is, people. The Hornby Class P2/1 Cock of the North. There's 3 variants that are coming out. There's a railroad version, there's a railways version, more detailed version of course, and there's one with a new technology that Hornby have developed. It's called Twin Track Sound. I will be getting the one with twin track sound, I do apologise. Its recommended retail price is £154.99, and we know that getting it off E-Hattons or Hattons or somewhere like that, it will be much cheaper. Now, I'm yet to see what the disadvantages are of this sound decoder compared to in a usual sound decoder, for example the one in Herring Gull. So we'll have to see how that goes, but I will be saving up for it. I've nearly got all the money together, now it's just a case of waiting for its release. I think Hornby are finalising production in China or whatever, and they're being shipped to the UK. I'm not too sure, but that will be my next acquisition, because for some people who aren't aware, we are building one of these, a real one, 1:1 scale, in the UK, in Darlington. Same people who built Tornado are going to be building this particular locomotive. It's class P2, all scrapped in the, I think it was the 1940s, 1930s. Actually, no, they weren't scrapped, that's a bit of a lie. They were all converted to A2s by Mr. Thompson. And we're thinking of, the locomotive class was troublesome and had many troubles throughout its working life. And with the P2 Steam Locomotive Trust have perfected the design and are now building it, so hats off to them. Give them all the support that they require. It's going to cost 5 million quid, so they will need help. They will need help, guys. But yes, that's my next locomotive. Okay guys, I think that covers just about everything in this layout update. Please let me know if you want any different videos upon request, of course, and I will see what I can do about them. I will be acquiring a tripod soon, so doing tutorials and things will be much easier. So yeah, if you have any questions about anything, guys, I'm really happy to help you out. Just drop me a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. See you very soon.